Hello and welcome to Hedgewitch Hearthcraft. I'm Caitlin Rhiannon. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I'm going to be using tarot cards and oracle cards to give us an idea of the energy for the week of February 21st to 27th, 2021, and how we can best navigate throughout or within those energies. So I'm going to be pulling 2 cards for every sign of the Western zodiac. You can apply these cards to your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon, the big 3, or any of the other signs in your chart, your Mercury, Venus, so on. The first card will be from the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, and this will give us our prediction for the week. And the second card will be from the Primrose and Prose Oracle, and this will give us some advice for the week. At the very end, I will also be pulling a Universal Manifestation card to give us, everyone, an idea of what to sort of connect our energy with or focus our energy on over the course of the week of the 21st to 27th. Anyway, since it is now Pisces season, let's go ahead and get started with our lovely Pisces. Pisces, your tarot card for the week of February 21st to 27th, 2021, is the 6 of Wands. This is a really successful and victorious card. You're feeling not necessarily like you've got it all figured out or you've got everything accomplished or everything perfectly lined up the way you want it to, but you're feeling so much more confident in your own abilities to just make things happen. Other people might be giving you the validation that you have needed up to this point. Or you're giving it to yourself, Pisces. You're recognizing your own growth. You're seeing how far you have come this week. And if over the last few weeks, if you've been feeling stuck or just like invalidated or unappreciated or underappreciated, a lot of that energy is being remedied over this next week. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is Illusion. So you are kind of being asked to make sure that you are slowing down and paying attention to reality, not just getting caught up in the daydreams. It's really easy when things are going well to build up this fantasy of where it's all going to lead. And the risk of that is losing touch with where things are actually going and focusing only on what you want to see, where you want things to go. So this Illusion card comes up to remind you that not everything is as it seems on the surface. So that doesn't mean that things aren't going as well as you think, but while things are going so well, make sure that you are paying attention to everything beyond what you are just seeing initially as well. Aries, your tarot card for the week of February 21st to 27th, 2021, is the King of Cups reversed. So there's a little risk of emotional disconnection over this next week and trying so hard to control your feelings and control how you respond to your feelings that you end up losing control of all of it. So do be as emotionally grounded as you can this week, Aries. Easier said than done with that. It's really hard to feel grounded when you are surrounded by feelings. So that's the energy that you're heading into, is just sort of unrooted and emotional and possibly overwhelmed. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is Tranquilized. And you're asked to just sit it out. Sometimes you don't need to be fully, in the middle of things, Aries. I know that it's hard for you to not be sometimes, but right now, it might be better to just sit back and let other people take charge, even just for the week, so that you can rebalance your own energies and not overreact every time something little goes wrong, because that is the biggest risk with this emotional, overwhelming energy, is responding not necessarily incorrectly, but a little bit inappropriately. So this Tranquilized card comes up and says, just knock yourself out, just rest and be for the next week. Don't try and push yourself in any one direction. Don't try and make anything happen, especially if you are having such a hard time dealing with what's going on inside. Taurus, your tarot card for the week of February 21st to 27th, 2021, is the King of Swords. This is a really good week for mental activity and for mental clarity. Not only figuring out what is going on in your own head, but deciding what to do with it. You're making a lot of decisions. You are figuring out your own way forward and how you can sort of like delegate the tasks that are no longer yours. You are releasing thought processes or memories that maybe aren't relevant anymore or you don't really need to hold on to, in favor of paying attention to what you can do in this moment, going forward, what you can plan to build your own path ahead. The oracle card that comes along with this is the Libra card in the Primrose and Prose oracle. And this is about balance. Stay balanced is the advice for you, Taurus, as you move forward, especially with all of this mental energy. Make sure that you are balancing your mental self with your emotional self, with your spiritual self, with your material self. There's a lot of different versions of you. There are a lot of different yous on different levels. So try to make sure that you are aligning each of these different versions of yourself with the other ones, because this will help you to move forward in a real sense of harmony. Gemini, your tarot card for the week of February 21st to 27th, 2021, is the Five of Swords reversed. You're having a hard time coming to terms with things over this next week, most likely. There's feelings of rejection, of pushing and trying to make people see you for who you really are. And it's like the harder that you push, the more people don't see what you are trying to put forward. So there is some issues with communication and with expression and trying to more genuinely express your feelings and your thoughts, and you're putting the effort in, but you might be putting the effort in a little bit sideways, a little bit reversed, and that is having less of a positive impact than you are hoping for. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is synergy. So you're being asked to pay attention to the connections in your life that already exist, that already matter, and the ones who are reinforcing you at this point. Gemini, maybe it's not so much about getting other people to notice you, getting everyone to pay attention to everything that you can do. Maybe it's only about getting a couple of people to pay attention to a little bit of what you have to offer. And those people can help to validate what you have to offer and amplify it so that other people notice. Let them, and word of mouth sort of thing, carry your words further than trying to force your words out will allow. Cancer, your tarot card for the week, February 21st to 27th, 2021, is the Hanged Man. There might not be a lot of active movement this week. It might feel like there is no active movement this week. No movement at all. The Hanged Man is kind of that immobilizing force. Something swoops you up and holds you in place while life goes on around you. And that is the feeling of this week, is being disconnected from the world while everyone else is just going through their lives as usual. And it's like you are an outsider looking in. You're not able to impact things directly for yourself or for other people. And that's probably really frustrating for you, Cancer. You're not able to take care of the people in your life that you want to. The oracle card that comes along this week is Taurus. And with the sense of immobility, with the sense of not being able to actively drive yourself forward, it's like you're being asked to just relax, to find a comfortable space and settle into it for a little while. Let things be. Let other people do the work for right now. Pay attention to what you have, to where you are right now, and what you have in your space, in your energetic space and your physical space that can make you happy. Pay attention to the people in your life and the connections that really matter to you. This is a week to address your values. You can clear out what doesn't matter once you have addressed whether it matters or not. Until then, this is more about focusing on what is right and what fits in your life. Leo, your tarot card for the week of February 21st to 27th, 2021, is the Five of Swords. This is a little bit of a frustrating one because it's like you're getting what you want or getting what you need, but you're not sure if it's worth it. Either the reward is not what you expected when you sought out to achieve it, or you're worried that the means don't justify, or the ends don't justify the means at this point. That the way that you have done this, the way that you have gotten what is right for you, what is best for you, what you want for yourself, may not be a way that is true to you and to who you want to be. So there is a little bit of inner conflict, and that could be affecting communication as well, creating almost like not a shutdown, but a sense of avoidance, of walking away. You don't want to have a fight, but if you do have to fight, you're going to win, and then you're going to leave them in the dust. The oracle card that comes along with this is the Leo card. So you're really being encouraged to connect to yourself, to pay attention to you. Make yourself the main focus this week. Allow yourself to claim center stage. You are the main character in your own story, so focus on you for a little while instead of everybody else, everything else, and focus on you now. Not who you used to be or who you are becoming, but the person that you are right now at this point. You can meet the person you're becoming when you start to get to know that person. But for right now, that is still in the future. And the person that you used to be is no longer necessarily relevant to who you are now. You can address aspects of yourself that have carried through and what you have learned from your past. But right now, Leo, you're asked to just live in the moment and live in your moment. Virgo, your tarot card for the week of February 21st to 27th, 2021, is Temperance reversed. A little bit of internal imbalance over this next week, having a hard time connecting your emotional self to your spiritual self, to your physical self. It's like you have the threads of connection to each aspect and each part of your life. You have the thread of connection to your spiritual self. You have the thread of connection to your physical self and your material self. But you're having a harder time than usual balancing and harmonizing all of these different energies within yourself. You're having a hard time bringing those threads together and weaving them into something that makes sense for you. Over this next week, things are just getting a little bit tangled. Your thoughts feel like your feelings, and your spiritual self doesn't blend very well with your material self, and you're not certain about where you are right now, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, materially, all of it. When it comes to other people, there's a sense of either feeling misunderstood or not fully understanding them, just an imbalance in communication. There's a lot of imbalance in general for you over this next week. And when it comes down to it, the ungroundedness is usually a main cause, but it's a lot harder to actively stay grounded when you are in the middle of being so all over the place. The oracle card that comes along with this is repurpose. And you're asked to pay attention to what's not working over this next week and see if you can shape it into something that will work for you in the future. This imbalance is not permanent, but it might be a little bit up to you to right yourself. You can't always count on universe to fix things for you. Sometimes you need to do the hard work yourself. And over this next week, you're being asked to pay attention to, all of these things that are up in the air, to all of these things that don't fit with who you are, and see what you can do to change them. Make them more you. Put a bow on it. Put some glitter on it. Paint it black. You know, take these different parts of yourself, and if they are still relevant to you, figure out how you can integrate them into the person that you are and the person you're becoming. Libra, your tarot card for the week of February 21st to 27th, 2021, is the Five of Swords. So for you, over this next week, there's a feeling of avoiding arguments and like walking away from fights. These could be fights and arguments that are ongoing up until this point, and you just need a break. It could be that other people are actively trying to antagonize you over this next week, and you're just not letting them, which is probably a lot more frustrating for them than actually having the fight with you. It's a little more frustrating for you too. You are a little concerned over this next week that you might be giving up on yourself, giving up on something that you've been fighting for, but that is not necessarily the case. Libra, we all need a break sometime. The oracle card that comes along with this is Solace. Libra, we all need a break sometime. The Solace card asks you to take a step back. Don't worry about other people right now. They, for the most part, they can take care of themselves. And if they can't take care of themselves, then you know that you can actually do something to help them take care of themselves. But mostly, you're being asked to focus on you. Just sit with your own energy for a little while. See how it feels to be by yourself in the quiet, in the dark. Close your eyes, do some introspection and some meditation over this next week. And don't worry so much about your impact on other people or their impact on you. You can come back to that when you have the spoons. Scorpio, your tarot card for the week of February 21st to 27th, 2021, is the Hierophant. So this is a great learning week for you and a good week for connecting to your own inner wisdom. This does come from what you have learned over time. This is not purely intuitive. There is a sense of following your experiences so that you don't have to experience something negative again, or so that you can experience something positive again, even better than the first time or the last time that you have been through it, because you know more. So you're really connecting to this sense of, like I said, experienced wisdom in order to reassess where you're at right now and to help you determine how to move forward. Other people are probably coming to you a little bit this week, leaning on you for that sense of wisdom, understanding. So try not to let it go to your head, but definitely know that your opinion is valued and important, especially this week. You can help people. The oracle card that comes along with this is Solitude. So with this, you're being asked to make sure that you, even though you are integrating your energy with other people this week, you're working with them, you're helping them, maybe they're helping you, pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to your own needs, and don't let your energy blend so much with the energy of other people that you lose who you are or that you lose connection to yourself. So this solitude energy is really about just taking a step back from society and prioritizing you and re-identifying who you are as an individual without letting other people's energy influence who you are. Sagittarius, your tarot card for the week of February 21st to 27th, 2021, is Temperance reversed. You're having a really hard time seeing things clearly, and for you, Sagittarius, that is especially frustrating. There is a real lack of direction and focus over this next week because you're not able to ground your energies. You're imbalanced in a very broad and general sense. You're ungrounded or unrooted and kind of just floating all over the place. Your thoughts are disconnected, your feelings make no sense, and because of all of that, it's just really hard to figure out what you can do, what power you have, how you can move forward. So you're probably feeling like you're, running around in circles, chasing your tail a little bit over this next week. and overreacting or underreacting, depending on where you're at different points in the week. It could even be both. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the Aries card. And you're being asked kind of to focus on you and who you are. The key words for Aries are often I am. So it's like, who are you, Sagittarius? Maybe you are becoming so disconnected, so out of touch with yourself because you've stopped knowing who you are. You need to get to know yourself again. So take this week as an opportunity to learn who you are. Reacquaint yourself with the person that you are now and the person that you're becoming. Capricorn, your tarot card for the week of February 21st to 27th, 2021 is the Page of Pentacles. Excellent grounding energy for this week. There is a sense of like real connection to the world around you and what you can do within it. This is a learning card, less of an active doing card, so there's more preparation over this next week than making things happen. But that preparation is setting a real solid foundation for you to build on top of over the next few weeks, over the coming future, the path ahead. So this Page of Pentacles energy is really good for figuring out what you can do, what power you have, what power you don't have, and that you are still accumulating, and how you can perpetuate that energy so that you can plant the seeds that you want to and actually watch things grow. The oracle card that comes along with this is Cancer. So you're really being asked to connect to your feelings over this next week, Sagittarius. Isn't that fun for you? This will help you figure out who you are. This will help you figure out your emotional needs and those little parts of yourself. And this can help to balance out the really heavy earth energy of the Pentacles suit. So while you are staying grounded in reality and paying attention to your skills and what you can do to continue building them, make sure that throughout the week you are checking in on your emotional self, and that the work that you are doing on the surface reflects those depths within you. Aquarius, your tarot card for the week of February 21st to 27th, 2021 is the Four of Swords. So this is a particularly restful week for you, especially on a mental level. You're getting a chance to just take a break, to let your thoughts and your brain and your mind just sit and process and not worry so much about coming up with ideas, even though the ideas will probably still come to you the way that they always do, just a steady trickle instead of a big old waterfall. But this is your chance to just be, Aquarius. And this has a really deep healing energy for going through your mental self and your emotional self and connecting to, not necessarily connecting to, but recognizing the harm that has been done or the hurts that you have experienced by yourself, by others, by just the way that life has happened. And allowing yourself to process and actively release them. So there's a lot of opportunity for healing this week. The oracle card that comes along with this is Aquarius. Aquarius, you're asked to prioritize yourself over this next week. You are doing this resting and this deep, deep healing, connecting to your inner self, connecting to your thoughts and your feelings, and figuring out how to heal them and move forward with them. And you're really, this Aquarius card really reinforces your prioritization of yourself, your focus on you. So you're being asked and encouraged to make yourself the main focus, the main priority, the only priority over this next week. Be a little selfish. You're the main character in your own story, so make sure that you are giving yourself at least as much focus as everyone and everything else around you. Over this next week, the encouragement, the advice is to prioritize you, prioritize what makes you happy, and get to know yourself and the person that you are becoming. At the end of my readings, I like to pull a card from my favorite manifestation, affirmation, motivation deck, the Super Attractor. So I have pulled one card for everyone who joins me for this reading, just to give us an idea of how to direct our energies over the coming week. So the card that I have pulled for us says, directing my focus onto what's thriving creates more of what I want. Directing my focus onto what's thriving creates more of what I want. So my interpretation of this, and I love these cards because they're all about choice and what we can do for our own selves. So directing my focus by actively choosing where to focus and where to point your attention and your energy onto what's thriving. So choosing to focus on what is growing, how things are developing, what is working and what is thriving, what is blooming and abundant for us, creates more of what I want. So this is really reminding us all that by focusing on what works, by focusing on what is going well, that asks universe to give us more of it. If our attention is being driven towards what's not working, we're going to be given more challenges. But if we focus more on, more decidedly on what is coming into our lives that we appreciate, universe says, oh, well, here you go. Here's more of that. Now, affirmations especially can be fairly personal. So what this one says to me might be different from what it said to you. And if that is the case, I would love to know what this card says to you down in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I hope that the readings in this video have been resonant and that they can provide just a sort of helpful, relevant compass to offer guidance, insight, clarity, whatever it is that you need to help find your way throughout the energy of the coming week. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of the cards that were pulled for your signs, what you thought of the Super Attractor at the very end, what you'd like to see in the future. I have a grounding and centering meditation up, and I've got some requests for other meditations in the future. So if you want something like that, let me know in the comments. Like the video if it sang to your soul, if it resonated with you, and please subscribe to my channel. I upload weekly and monthly forecasts like this, and like I said, I've got some meditations coming, and I've got one up there for you if you ever need to just chill out and ground and center your own energies. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I hope that you have a fantastic week. Be good to yourself.